I get asked this question a lot by small business owners. They say, hey, Tama, I've got huge dreams for my business, huge aspirations. I want to make a massive impact. I want to be able to have a multi-million-dollar business, and I know I can do it. In 3 years' time, I'm going to be there. However, I said that 3 years ago, and I'm still where I am today, because you know what? Today, I need to put food on the table. Today, I need to pay the bills and make ends meet, and I need to find 1 or 2 or 3 clients so that they can actually make that happen, and I'm just running in this vicious circle and I can't get out of it. So am I being unrealistic in thinking of how I can make a better world for my business and me and my lifestyle and the people I want to impact? Am I just being blatantly foolish and unrealistic? The answer is no. But the answer is that you have a huge disconnect between where you want to go tomorrow or 3 years' time and what you're doing today. And those two are completely, probably in conflict with each other in opposing fields. And what we need to do is we need to try and find a way that you can still carry on being realistic and doing what you need to do today to put food and on the table and make the bills happen. However, we need to make sure that what you're doing today actually is on a path to where you're going to go in the future. All this and a whole bunch more in the rest of this video. Ready to get on with it? Let's go. Hit it. So first of all, let's break down what's happening here. What's happening is that you have, and we have all had, this is not just about you, it's a really common problem. So don't be worried or concerned. This is a real problem that nearly all of us go through. And the ones that actually, the businesses that really make it really big. Remember, the businesses that are really big today at some point were your size business, and if not smaller. Everyone starts from zero, everyone. And everyone has issues in terms of how they're going to make ends meet and how are they going to make today happen whilst still very much keeping tomorrow in the future, but still very much make it realistic. And what's going on is that at the moment today, what we do is typically we say, right, we need to have a few clients. So we run around like crazy, sitting around basically saying, going around this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, so that we can actually find these clients and make the bills happen. So what we do is we say, right, I heard a podcast is important. Let me start a podcast. And then you go and start that. And then I heard that social media is the thing to do because that's what they say. So I go and do messages on all of social media and posts and this and that and the other. I heard videos are the thing to do. Let me go and do Facebook Live and let me do YouTube and let me do this. And I heard that, hustling is the thing to do. So I need to hustle inside my business. I need to sweat and I need to put in the hours solid. But you know what? I'm doing 18 hours a day. I'm not even taking a weekend and I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm getting burnt out and I've got nothing to show for it. And what is happening is that you might strike lucky and find your odd 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 or 50 clients or customers. But sometimes it's not because what you think you're doing is actually happening. And that's where the issue is because you're running around completely random, completely haphazardly, completely ad hoc, without any real game plan. And what's happening is every time you strike lucky, you think that that's the secret sort of sauce, if you will, and then you end up going to try it again and it doesn't work. So then you scatter around again and go like crazy and you say, well, that trend's gone. Let me try a new trend. What are the cool kids saying today? Let me go and try that. Is it going to be TikTok? Is it going to be Clubhouse? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? And when in this never-ending cycle of basically saying, what do we do today to make ends meet? And at the same time, what we've got is this whole vision where we say, you know what? I want financial freedom. You know what? I want this time flexibility. I don't want to be putting in 18 hours a day. I don't want to even putting in like 2 hours a day sometimes. I want to be able to take 3-4 weeks off where I can go and travel and still make sure that I don't have to worry about finances. Let's break this down a little bit. What is going on is you've got 2 very clear sort of agendas. And those agendas need to sort of be aligned. If you don't have them aligned, they're going to be in conflict with each other because when you're sitting down thinking about the future, you're thinking like high level. You're thinking from the top down, bird's eye view, and you're saying, hey, let me think about vision. Let me think about strategy. Let me think about where my business is going. And then you come in today and then you say, yes, but I need to do this today. And yes, I need to do that. That can just park aside now. I don't care about that stuff. And what you are not doing is because you've got this huge vision, you can't go around chasing trends if you just basically look at 3 years ahead, because you don't know what the trends are going to be in 2 years' time. You don't know what they're going to potentially be, whether it's going to be a video or a podcast or Facebook ads or Google ads or whatever it is. But what happens is that you have got these conflicting things where you're basically saying, right, this is what I need to do today, and this is where I need to go tomorrow. And there is a cut between them. And you keep on fighting this corner without really seeing the path to that potential point. And this is where your overall business strategy really comes in. It is really, really important to make sure that you understand where your end destination is and understand where all the potential obstacles are going to be in your way. And those potential obstacles can be today's cash flow, today's issues. Those potential obstacles can be, I can't even get one client, let alone 1,000 that I need to have so that I can have a 7-figure business. So what you should be doing is you should be working top down, not bottom up. And what's happening in most of our cases is that we're getting so overwhelmed and so worked up in actually working at the bottom level where you're working inside your business. And that's going to be inevitable. When you're starting a business, you're going to have to work inside your business at some point in time, because a lot of people say, you need to be working on your business, not inside your business. But all of that is, again, idealistic, and we need to live in the real world. Yes, you should be working on your business. However, you need to be working inside it until you can feasibly go and hire out other people to be able to work inside your business so that you can actually work on your business. And what you should be doing then is saying, right, let's have a look at this. Let's look at business strategy. Let's look at the top level and say, this is where I want my business to go. Here are the potential obstacles for me that will get in my way. And sit down and try and figure out a path that will help you navigate through those obstacles. And everything that you're doing today needs to be singularly focused on getting you to that destination. So if your destination is to basically say, right, I need to sit there and look at sort of collaborating with influencers so that they can help me market my business whilst I focus on business to business only sales and not to customers, then what you're beginning to do is you're beginning to build a strategy where you're saying, these are the things that I'm going to do in a few years' time. And then what do I need to do starting today that can actually work today so that I can actually build that entire journey? And how do I navigate from that? And then at the same time, what you do is you say, right, what do I need to do today to make ends meet? And this is the bare minimum that I need to do. And what you essentially want to be doing is you want to be starting at this point here with what's happening today, because that's where you are. And this is where you want to be, but you can't work on that because that's actually a way off. And what you want to be doing is you want to be mapping out a path where you're reducing the stuff that what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, so that you start doing the other stuff that's actually going to get you to that destination until they align with each other, and then you should be able to progress after that.